so many choices. OTR, local, dedicated, LTR, truckload, lease purchase, owner operator. What am I gonna do? Let's talk about it. Hey, you guys, and welcome back to another episode with your trainer Alan, your OTR truck driving trainer. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about your occupational goals, your options. What do you want to do after you're finished doing what you're doing? Say, what do you mean? What do I want to do after I finish what I do? Well, I mean exactly that. What do you want to do long term? Obviously, for the next year, you need to finish doing what you're doing because, well, number one, you're going to gain a lot of experience that you need. Number two, you're going to get your schooling paid for. And that's a big chunk of change right there, right? So that's important. Now, over the past few weeks, you've probably, if you've been out with a trainer and or now you're out on your own, whatever, you've probably been approached by a few owner-operators saying, oh, man, I can give you this much money and, I won't be taking taxes out or anything, blah, 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 blah. Sounds great, but, okay, here's the downfall. You have to hold back your own taxes. You have to file as self-employed. Okay, now that can get tedious, very tedious. Don't do it. Plain and simple. I mean, are there benefits? Yeah, there's benefits. Like if you get on with an owner-operator who has a good run, and all of his trucks are on a certain run. I was in this situation before, and I loved it. I enjoyed doing what I was doing. I had a dedicated run, and it was perfect for me, okay? But, again, it comes down to making sure that you work your finances appropriately. Your first year, I highly recommend you just don't. Stick with the company you're with. They're going to be paying off your education. That owner-operator isn't going to pay off your education, okay? That means out of that nice big chunk of change that you're getting with no taxes taken out, you still got to pay for that education. Now, great thing is if you do pay for that education, then that's another tax write-off for you as a self-employed individual working for a contractor, basically being a contractor of a contractor. But really, your first year, stick with what you're doing. Yes, it's tough. Yes, there's ups and downs. This is a big learning curve, and you may feel at times, well, this shouldn't be, the way it is. Well, it probably just is the way it is. As I've said in a previous video, the trucking lifestyle, trucking as an occupation in general, is way different than pretty much anything you've ever done. Stick out your first year with the company. They're going to pay off your schooling. Okay, that's number one bonus. Number two bonus, you're learning a lot of great things from the company that originally brought you in. Okay, spend 1 year doing that. At least 1 year doing that. Now, here's the deal. Most large trucking companies, and if you're with a large trucking company, they probably have many different divisions. Okay, and they probably don't just have the OTR, but they've probably got OTR dedicated. They've probably got line haul dedicated. They've probably got some LTL dedicated. They've probably got some LTL non-dedicated. They've probably got an account with a large automotive manufacturer, or they've got an account with a big paper distributor, or they've got accounts. There are a lot of options with a big company. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that big companies are for everybody. I'm not saying that big companies are the best to work for all the time. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is your first year in, do what you got to do. Okay, learn what you've got to learn. Then you can look at other options. But do understand that inside that big company that you probably started with, there are options. All right, but before we even go into those options, I want to talk about something else that should be a primary occupational goal. Keep your license clean. That means run legal logs, okay? That means when you're on home time and you're in your car, run legal. Stay away from speeding tickets. Don't get in any accidents, Okay? Protect your license at all costs. That is now your livelihood. Okay? That license is and can be your gold mine if you'll let it be. Okay? So make sure you protect that. Also, protect your reputation. Okay, you say, well, what do you mean by that? What I mean by that is be on time on your loads. Keep your truck clean. Be available for loads. You know, don't be getting loads and being like, oh, I can't do it, or don't be on home time and they send you a load and be like, oh, man, I just need one more date. No. You know, you probably told them when you went home what date you were available to come back out. Come back out on that date, period. Okay? Protect your reputation. Be safe. Be courteous. And present well. Present yourself well. You know, dress appropriately, talk appropriately. You know, don't be talking hick, don't be talking gangster, don't be talking stupid. Okay, to customers, to dispatch, to others in your terminal, to other drivers. Don't do it. There's no need for it. Be professional. You are a professional truck driver. Act like it. Okay. Truck drivers, again, you know, it's a different breed. It's a different type of occupation. You are blue collar and white collar all at the same time. You are in a rolling office. You continuously represent your company that you're working for at all times. Okay? Present yourself as such. Your reputation will matter. The people that you meet, the people that you come in contact, they can all be, well, and in fact, in some ways, they all are customers of yours. Your dispatcher is your customer. Your load planner is your customer, okay? Because you're getting work from them, they are your customer. The places you deliver to, they are your customer. Believe it or not, if it hasn't happened to you yet, know that they can kick you off their lot at any time, okay? If you're acting stupid at a customer's, they can kick you off the lot, okay? Be presentable. Present yourself well. So yeah, make sure you keep your reputation. Make sure you keep your license clean. Those are the two main things that you need to do for your occupational goals. Okay. Now, next we talk about you know, whether you want to be OTR forever, over the road, whether you want to be dedicated over the road. Maybe you want to have be on a dedicated account, just running a specific customer's freight. Maybe you want to be on a dedicated run, which is totally different. A dedicated run is from one place, maybe from one place to another. It may not even be the same customer every time, but it may also be the same customer all the time. So there's a lot of different dedicated type availabilities out there. And maybe you want to run local. Maybe you want to do less than truckload, or what we call LTL, where you make several different small pickups. Maybe you want to do specialized. You know, maybe you want to do reefers. Maybe you want to do a flatbed. Maybe you want to do oversized loads. There are so many options out here. Okay, that's what your first year is about. Talk to other drivers. When you see somebody that's in a truck or pulling a trailer that you're not familiar with, ask questions. Most of us who have been out here for a while, we don't mind answering questions. Okay, the ones that do mind answering questions, they're bitter, and honestly, they probably shouldn't be out here. Now, obviously, don't be asking them, well, what are you hauling right now? Now, obviously, on oversized loads, you're going to see what they're hauling, okay? But don't be asking where they're coming from, where they're going, okay? That's none of your business. What you can ask them is questions like, how do you like hauling such and such, whatever it is that they're hauling? Where do you generally go to? Do you have a dedicated lane? How much money do you make? Those kind of questions are generally acceptable questions, but don't ask them where the current load is going to or where it came from. Don't ask them how much they're making on their current load. It's none of your business, and it's personal. And honestly, it's a safety issue. No truck driver should ever tell anybody where their load has come from or where they are taking it to. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's so many options out there. Your first year, keep learning, guys. Just keep learning. Learn everything that you can. Ask questions. Um, while you're talking to truck drivers, whether it be in truck stops or at customers or wherever, you know, ask questions. Familiarize yourself with all the different aspects of the industry, because the transportation industry as a whole is split into so many different segments. Um, and the more you can learn about it over the next year, the better your long-term occupational goals will be able to be seen. Um, I don't know if you, the person watching this right now, does this or not, but I recommend that you set regular goals, and whether they be occupational, whether they be personal, family, whatever, make goal setting a regular part of your life. Goal setting can help you get wherever you want to get to in life. But if you want to go somewhere and you don't set goals to get to that point, chances are you're not going to make it to that point. So set your goals, decide what you want to do, and then do what you need to do to get to where you want to go. But this first year, just really focus on learning, and decide if being behind the wheel of a truck is even what you want to do, because it might not be, and that's okay. Don't feel like, oh man, I got into this and now I just got to do it. No, absolutely not. Truck driving is not for everybody. It may or may not be for you. Okay? Don't feel like just because you put the money into it that now you have to see it through for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. That's not the way life works. Okay? Ultimately, I hope that you have life goals that reach beyond the next 10 to 20 years. And if truck driving does not fit in to those longer term life goals, don't do the truck driving. Okay? Now, you're already in it right now, and you've got to pay for it. So, yeah, go ahead and finish out your first year. It's an experience of a lifetime, and there'll never be another experience like it. I mean, you're basically a paid tourist in many ways. A professional paid tourist, nonetheless, but you are a paid tourist in many aspects. So enjoy this year. Learn what you can. Get your schooling paid for. And then, plan for something after that if this isn't for you. If it is for you, you really enjoy trucking, make sure that, again, it fits into your long-term plans. Where do you want to be in 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now? Make sure that what you're doing now in truck driving will reflect well on those long-term goals, and that they will help get you to where you want to go. All right? So that's it for today on occupational goals. The main takeaways from this are: keep your license clean, keep your reputation clean, and keep learning. Okay? If you do those 3 things, this will be a great year. Have fun out there, guys. Keep the shiny side up, the greasy side down, and we'll catch you later.